Good morning and welcome to Wednesday Wellness. I'm glad to join you, my co host and I. And today is a reminder for you and I to well ourselves, get well, be well, and stay well. Today we're going to be talking about butterflies. You've got it. And we're so grateful to come to you, and we hope that you all are in the best of health. As you know, the Healing Center is open, and we would like you, please, to know that anytime you would like to make a donation, it is willing donations. We appreciate them. For those of you who are already doing it, the reason for this is so that we can make our healing center all that you expect it to be. If you want to see our calendars or what we've got planned, go to our Facebook page and you can see a full calendar for the month of March. We started to do that because if you have questions, you can basically see what we've done or what we're doing, which reminds me that if you want to look at the progression of Vibe Talk Healing Center, you may do that because I'm always going to post so that you know where all donations go to. You also can do gift certificates if you'd like, whatever makes you feel comfortable as you are willing. We want you to know that you matter. As we are welling ourselves, I want you to take the time and think about the symbolism of butterflies. Yes, we do have them in our office. And I want to share with you the thought that the butterflies really symbolize our growth, our transformation, our being able to change into something new, make improvements, do best, or do better. So I want you to remember that when you walk into our offices, or our office, because we only have one, you will see beautiful butterflies on the wall. Why do we do that? Because it's a reminder to stay inspired. Stay inspired. You know, when we do our wellness on Wednesday Wellness, excuse me, I've got this terrible cough. When we do our Wednesday Wellness, we want you to understand that Wednesday Wellness is all about you're getting better. And I thought to myself, is there not a better time to bring our butterflies up? When we think about the changes that happen in our lifetime, all the way from journeying from childhood to adulthood, that's a cycle of life. And the butterfly really does the cycle of life. It's amazing. We've had this conversation, but for those of you who are new, you will understand why we chose butterflies. Good morning, Trish.
Good morning.
So, butterflies come in all different colors. And when you think about the colors of the butterfly, we did a art piece for our art through expression on, on making butterflies. And each time that I want to introduce that, I want to do something different with it. This time, when you make your butterflies, I want you to symbolize your colors. And I want you to think about being creative with them. You know, when we think about the changes, the fragility of a butterfly, we think about lives being very fragile. We think about how powerful the butterfly's flight is. And when we think about the wings being able to move through life cycles, who says you have to get your wings when you pass on or pass away? Pass away. You can get your wings right here, right now, because the wings really do represent flight. Are you willing to fly, butterfly, fly? Because you have the ability to do just that. When you think about the butterfly and the nature of the butterfly, how do you know how far they've already flown and how far they will continue to fly? No one knows. But here's something you do know. You do know about yourself, or do you? What's the connection between you and that butterfly? When you think about your life flight, if anybody told you you can't, you won't, and to stop, is your wellness speaking back to you that you will, you can, and you do? Or are you just waiting to be nudged? So when you walk in our healing center, you will be reminded of your journey. Nobody knows where you've been, and nobody knows where you'll end up. It's up to you. That hits deep, doesn't it? When we think about their symbolism and when we think about where they've been and where they're going, I really want you guys to really tune in today. I think it's so powerful when we think about the butterfly and all that has happened and all that will happen. I think it's such a beautiful thing to understand because that's what you'll see. We look at symbolism or what something means. We have the golden arches. Every time we see the golden arches, what do you think of, Trish? I think of McDonald's. Are you there, Trish?
Yes, I'm here. I'm just thinking.
So, we're going to think about the meaning of the green butterflies because that's what you'll see. The meaning of this green butterfly in nature, it talks about the nature of growth It also says that it is a new period in your life, a life that you can fully bloom. It also talks about flourishing in your growth, in your advancement in many, many circumstances and situations, including your being able to work in your work environment and in your relationship. So when we think about the green butterfly, we think about enhanced success. Bet you didn't know that. Many of you are probably wondering, why why does Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast talk about butterflies? Because really it's symbolic to your growth. And a symbolic term is representing something. It means something. Because butterflies are very, very fragile. But yet, I find them so powerful. I find them powerful. When we think about our growth, where have we been? Where are we going? We think about the butterfly and the metaphor of its change from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Wow. It is amazing. It's very amazing. Change. We talk about change of transformation. We weren't here yesterday. And this is according to your wellness, or your being well, or getting well. We think about the change from something old into something new. How are you doing? Or are you still stuck on your journey? Are you able to embrace the new you as you go through many changes? Some people are stuck on changing because they have become comfortable comfortable in that. Why even change? I like the way I am. Can you imagine a butterfly saying that? No, that butterfly flutters its wings and it wants to go and discover. And it goes on its flight with those delicate wings to fly up. So when we see a butterfly, we don't know how long it's been on its journey. But you can best believe that the butterfly represents freedom, hope, and joy. Think about that. It's transformation from something into something more beautiful. If a butterfly can do that, we humans can do better. Welling ourselves, wanting to be well, wanting to stay well, takes effort. Every client that I have spoken with, every client that has walked through Vibe Talk's door, the first sign of healing yourself is to want to get better. Now it's up to you if you want to get better. My question is, do you or don't you? You know, we think about the positiveness of why scientifically a caterpillar is able to change into a butterfly. That's amazing. But here's something else. You are amazing. Come a little closer. I said you are amazing. Your transformation has not been an easy one. When you have experienced so many things that look as if they're dark, bleak, and not hopeful, we must look at our mindset and we must learn to symbolize what our own hopes are. Do you dare to dream of what it could be like? And do you embrace what is new? I want you to think about your hope of being the new you, the improved you. We've all come from all walks of life, and that's so unique in itself that we're unique. You are unique. There may be someone similar to you, but there is no one like you. Have you saw your beauty, your personal growth? Have you been able to say to yourself, I have changed? How many of you have been able to say that? I just noticed it.
I have.
And how is that experience for you, Trish?
It's something like it's a very new experience for me because I realized that it's like a new skin that I'm in, if that makes sense. It's
That
like
makes a lot
something,
of sense.
it's like I try to do the things like the old me, which is like not speak up, not communicate, not express my emotions. And even though it's easy to go back to that, it makes me uncomfortable that when I try to go back to that. So that's how I know that I change. When I start to get uncomfortable in the old me. So it reminds me to stick to the new me, which is expressing myself and talking about how I feel.
I love it. I love that. I can relate to that in so many ways. So change for me has been, it feels different, but I think I love it. It was never uncomfortable for me. I just knew it was happening. And I'm going to tell you all who are listening, wherever you are, that it can be done. You know, we change our minds from day to day. I'll give you a simple illustration. How many times have we gotten dressed and we say, I don't like the way I don't like this outfit today. It just doesn't feel right for me. But yet, how many of us have actually went in and changed our whole outfit? Anybody ever done that?
I have.
Yes, I have many times. And then what do we find out? We get something that we like. And yet sometimes when we don't get the chance to change the outfit, how many people have said to you, I like that outfit on you. And you say, this wasn't really what I wanted to wear today. But they say, you look nice, you look pretty, you look handsome. How many times have you had that happen? See, a butterfly doesn't recognize that it has beautiful wings, but we say, isn't that a beautiful butterfly? Does that make sense to everyone? See, a butterfly doesn't have the intelligence as we do as humans to be able to make those choices to change. It just happens because our Creator is so wise and so loving. There's not just one kind of butterflies, there's a lot of species of butterflies. And each of them have had to go through change. And those changes have not been pretty. When we think about ourselves coming into a newness, some of us have had some pretty painful experiences. Just let me tell you. But I want you to understand that being a butterfly is the best experience anyone can ever have. When you step into Vibe Talks Healing Center, the Healing Center, you're reminded of your freedom, your joy, your journeys. You're not reminded of your pain. That's why it's called the Healing Center. Of course, you got to get it out. You've got to be a caterpillar, but you don't have to stay stuck as a caterpillar. Another amazing point is that the caterpillar will change in its process to become a butterfly. That's amazing for us to know that. So when we think about our triumphs, the Healing Center is not always about sad times. It's about you coming to fore and saying, I did this. I grabbed the choice. I put on my wings, my butterfly wings, and I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get well. For those of you who have not missed your appointments, you are the butterflies. You come in week after week. You've cried. You've even laughed. Those are the ones that are going to have long journeys. And on that journey, as Trish said, and you couldn't have said it any better, you're going to remind yourself, I am no caterpillar. I am a butterfly. You're going to recall to yourself, I remember what that was like, and I don't want to go back to that space. I want to create space for me to get well and stay. So when you think about you as you are a living, breathing soul, you're not some sick person that people give up on, or people throw aside, or people say they're not good enough. We place beautiful value on you. And I want you to do the same. It's an assignment like no other. Did you hear it? To value yourself is the assignment. No one can tell you exactly how to do it. Even if I were to write 1,000 words per page, it would still be up to you to understand how well you want to be. We want you to understand that your butterfly representation is something of wellness. We remind ourselves that there are stages that we go through. We have to really want to get well. And everybody that's come through the healing center's doors, I've been saying that. If you don't want to get well, you're not going to get well. And when you hear the word work, we hear the word work and we apply it, especially for those of us who have children. They hear that and all of a sudden they get stomach aches. They come up with these sicknesses because why? They don't want to work. Every kid has done it. I'm going to tell you something. The work that you're going to do or you've done in the healing center, I guarantee you, you're going to know that you're working on wellness. It'll be up to you. I want you to think about the work that you'll have to do. It requires a struggle. Imagine that butterfly. The one that flies around and you watch it. It struggles. What does it teach us when it struggles to emerge from the cocoon? Yes, that's right. They're challenged. Challenges are part of our growth. Come a little closer. That's right. I said challenges are part of our growth. So those dainty, beautiful butterflies are required to struggle so that they can get out of that cocoon. And sometimes we become stuck in the cocoons and say, just let me stay here. But you must emerge. So it teaches us that struggle is all part. How many of you understand that?
I do.
Because yeah. And how do you understand that, Trish?
I understand it as growth. When you're growing, it takes time and also it can be challenging. But like the butterflies, because I've seen it happen before because I was in science class and my teacher, we had a caterpillar and it was in its cocoon and it was struggling to come out. I actually saw that up front. And it was amazing because regardless of it struggling, it was like determined to get out of that, to like come out and be what it's meant to be, which is a butterfly. So that's how I feel like we should handle our struggles, just be determined to get out of that challenge and be the person that we want to be.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. By the way, lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. And our number is 1-888-721-9260. Lines are open. What's another thing we can learn from a butterfly? That change is possible. We think about the butterfly's transformation, it shows us, or should show us, that we too, as marvelous humans who were created, we can change our lives. Don't give up. That symbolizes hope. H-O. What else can Sometimes we're forever thinking about the old. We think about the old, and we go back, even in conversations, we go back to the past. Some of us live in our past. And yes, even though there may be some really nice memories, you could stay in the past if you want to. Or you can talk about the past. There's something that life does. Before you can grow, you must let go of what is old. Remember that thing that I said about experiencing painfulness? In order for you to be able to go on in your life, you have the freedom to choose. That is, to choose change. You can keep on with the old or emerge with the new. I want you to think about. When we think about our personal changes, there are none like what we will personally experience. The Healing Center is all about that. Your personal development. Some of you come in and you're expecting the change overnight, and then some of you come in and you say, why does it feel still hurt? Because you're working it through. You're working through. And it's so important to pay attention that you are overcoming challenges that you didn't know how to before. Now you're going to see your strengths, your development. Because right now, a lot of your being able to move and move with action on your personal development, it's going to look a lot like the 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. If you were to put that on the table and I said, here, I want you to make the picture that's on the puzzle blocks, how would you master it? See, no one knows how you're going to go about it, but you have one goal in mind, that I'm going to make this picture that's on this puzzle box. We all go about it differently. Some of us might look at the form of the shape. Some of us might uh, do the colors first. Some of us might size up puzzle shapes, the ends to figure it out. We have a different way of going about our personal development. And maybe you're going to start at the smallest thing, or maybe it's going to be the biggest thing. But here's one thing for sure, you are developing your own strength, your own coming into, your own becoming the you that you are. And a lot of us parents can understand this analogy in that our children, when they grow up, by the time they're 5 and 6, they basically have their own personality. So they might want to dress themselves. That's a sign of personal growth. And so we are so used to dressing them the way that we want, and that little voice comes and they say, today I want to dress myself. And I'm telling you what really happened in my life. You might be a little bit leery because you don't know what they're going to wear. And I don't care if it's mix-max socks, stripes with plaids. They're coming into themselves. So you might make a little adjustment for them. But this is personal development for them. The first time they comb their hair, the first time they brush their teeth without you, they are personally developing themselves. coming into being. Have you reached that? Coming into your own, or someone telling you still what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. I want you to think about the cycle of life, going back to the conclusion. When you think about, as Trish mentioned, that she actually witnessed that, coming out or crawling out of that cocoon, you know what happens? We're waiting on the other side to expand, because that's the next step. It's inevitable to take that first flight. We want to think about our lives and our growth and our changes, because we don't want to be the same person. We want to experience our journey, or do we? Life is so full of choices, challenging, but full of choices. What choices can you make? What choices will you make? We think about things that describe a butterfly. Have you thought of a word for the butterfly? What about you, Trish, when I say the word butterfly?
I think of wondrous when I hear butterfly.
Yeah,
That's the word I think of.
yeah. And I think of beautiful and flight. How does that relate to us? See, we can easily say those words, but how, if I were to write them or I had you write them, how would you apply that to yourself? Now, the creative assignment, in case you didn't understand the assignment, is to draw a butterfly, but then add to your butterfly as you create your own butterfly and think of how it relates to you, or how you want it to relate to you. Because I don't want you to lose hope. I want you to be able to dream up how you see yourself. Maybe you've never been told that you're beautiful. Now you can create for yourself a beautiful butterfly. Maybe no one's ever told you that you are brilliant. Maybe no one has ever told you that you're determined. Maybe no one's ever told you that you bring life. But I want you to create that butterfly to represent all that you can be. I want you to think about how to renew yourself. Because sometimes we may go, ladies and gentlemen, and expect others to tell us what to do. The Healing Center is all about your space to create for you what is safe and to embrace your newfound. After all, I would have had to go through something in order to have created the healing space, the healing center. Now there's a real place for you to do that. And even if you don't live in the area, you can still be a part of it. That is, if you want. We have oh so much to learn about the butterfly. I want you to learn how to fly your wings. I want you to learn how to be a person that is determined as life creates for you. Small challenges, big challenges, and larger challenges. And we get it. There's some of you out there that didn't even know you could represent a butterfly. We want you to be able to know that the butterfly can be a wonderful tool to teach us something about ourselves, something that we can be reminded of each day. We want you to think about its grace, its gliding, its wonder. Are you like that? We're going to be right back with Trisha's Treasures. And don't go anywhere. There's still more to come. We'll be right back. Go check your favorite streaming. We are back with Trisha's Treasures. Trish?
So right here in front of me, I have the first butterfly I drew for our expressions through art. It's very different from the recent one I drew with the yellow wing, and on the other side, there's a purple wing with a little bit yellow on it. I used it for my album cover, I'll Be Leaving Now. And I see like the differences. Like the first butterfly has red, yellow, and orange. That was the color scheme for that butterfly. And for the last one, as I said, it's one side's yellow, symbolizing the after, and the other side is purple, green, yellow mixed together, and that symbolizes the before, and it's a darker color. And it's amazing how every time I draw a butterfly, like, it's so different. Like, we have different kinds of butterflies. And I think for me, that symbolizes the changes that I've had along the journey of welling myself and healing. And it's interesting that I used the butterfly for my album cover. I've been meaning to do that for the longest, but I finally did it, guys. So, and I drew this one. Anyway, so it's amazing that I use that because the album I'll Be Leaving Now is about growth. It's like I'm not staying in that same area anymore. It's time for me to leave. It's time for me to go. It's time for me to change. I can't do this anymore. That is what that album is about. You can find that on my YouTube channel under Queen Fire and on my Audio Mac, which is under the same name, Queen Fire. And the first song of that album is actually called I'll Be Leaving Now. And the beginning talks about is me in my Tristan's Treasures talking about fulfilling your life. And it discusses about it's your choice whether you want to fill your life with positivity or negativity. Fill your life with things that are meaningful. And After that, the song discusses about if it's what I want. See, that's important. That's why I keep repeating it in the song. If it's what I want, if it's what I want. Because change happens if you want to, if you want it to happen. That's that's the majestic part of change. If you want it, then it will begin. You will start. And lyrics go on to talk about if what I want doesn't suit you and it's right, I will not take advice from you. Because my satisfaction doesn't make you smile, that's all right. Because I'll be leaving now. I'll be leaving now. And if keeping my sanity means I gotta stay true to me, I'd rather have that than turn my back on what God made me into. So those lyrics are just talking about a person, which is me, that's going through the chapter of my life where if people don't want to see me happy, that's their choice. I'm not blaming them. I'm telling myself that, okay, it's time for the change of the circle. It's time to focus on you now. It's time to put your wings on and fly away from that environment and just focus on you. It's time to leave. It's time to change that mentality. And I talk about the sanity of staying true to me. That is something that's important to me because being true to myself keeps my mentality in check. It helps me stay stable within my mindset because I know at the end of the day of who I am and what I want to be and what I want to do. So I say all that to talk about change. It's important to, it's up to you whether you feel like it's important for you to change or stay the same. It's up to you. So I wish you all to think about whether that transformation that is awaiting you deserves to be in your grasp or whether it doesn't. So it's all up to you if it's what you want.
You want to hear more of Trisha's treasures? Go directly to our YouTube, Vibe Talk Facing the Light podcast, and you can hear Trisha's treasures. Thank you for that, Trish. So, in a wrap, to wrap this conversation on wellness up, our butterfly, your butterfly, it represents your emerging from whatever your struggle is. What's your take home from this,
My take home from here is that change doesn't happen overnight. I have to learn to be patient, but in my patience, I have to be determined as well to get out of the challenge that I'm in and to after I do that continue to expand because growth takes time and there are many places that I need healing and growth from and taking it one step at a time is giving me grace. Like how the butterfly flies graceful, it's giving me grace as well when I give myself some credit and be patient with myself. So that's my take home.
I love it. My take home is um, that I think being determined to get through the struggle, because you can't be a butterfly if you have not struggled in your cocoon stage. You can't stay stuck. You've got to move forward in life. And though they may be challenging times, we can get through it. If a butterfly can do it, we humans can definitely do it. I want to thank you all for joining our podcast. It is interactive. Anytime you want to get live with us, you can be right here with us. We are always on Facebook. Uh, and can I just say thank you for many of you who have joined our Vibe Talk family. Thank you, thank you. Either you've come in to Vibe Talk and you've come in on our pages. We thank you. Our pages are growing. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We can't say that enough. You believed in us. You still believe in us. And we're very grateful just because we only wanted one person to listen, and we've got 300 and plus listeners. Thank you so much. We ask of you to keep listening. We ask of you, if you're feeling hopeless, find hopeful. We're asking you, if you're feeling stuck, free yourself. Be determined. We're asking of you to become the beautiful butterflies. We had to do it, and we're sharing with you how we did it. Now, what works for someone may not work for the other people. You be the judge. Are you or aren't you? Thanks, everybody. And if you want to donate to the Healing Center, all of our information is right here, and it's also on our Facebook page. You will find out as you look at our Facebook the progression of the Healing Center. We also have a calendar that you can look at, and if you have any questions, you can call or text uh, at 1-888-721-9260. I am thankful for all of you. My co-host, Trish, thank you so much. And all of you who have listened to us. Thank you for the growth. And I challenge you to keep doing well. Keep being well and stay well. Have a good Wednesday. And thank you so much. Because I don't want you just to make a resolution. I want you to think about everything. I was really about the moves that then I got the vibe with it. I really took my time with it. I really loved the ride with it. Really got the vibe with it. I took my time with it.